Hi, my name is Dave. This is my video titled Exercise or Die. This is a poem I wrote on that subject. Afterwards, I'll explain what I mean by each verse. Some time ago, I was diagnosed as being permanently incapacitated. I had a choice to make: exercise or die. I decided to exercise. The result? I've completed 10 marathons, played football, and waved lazy thoughts goodbye. Last year I met a lady who was going for a daily walk. She was aged over 90, she said. We had a chat and agreed that it was better for her body and mind to walk than to feel self-pity in her bed. Dancing is one of the most effective forms of exercise you can possibly do. It can be so much fun and deep smiles can ensue. Feeling stressed? Dance your troubles away. You might be surprised how much energy you really use that way. Challenge yourself to do rigorous forms of exercise. The result? You may end up healthy, wealthy and wise. Unless you challenge yourself, you may as well be dead. One day I thought I'd take up a leisurely sport. Then thought, no, I'll play Australian rules football instead. Social media is killing our children every single day. It destroys their bodies and minds in a sickening way. Children don't exercise their bodies and minds. Why should they? They let social media do all the work, while their bodies and minds decay. Exercising our imagination is so much fun. It takes us through periods of rain toward the sun. Our imagination gives us hope for a better life. Acting on our imagination would lead to internal and external peace, not strife. Let's revisit verse 1. Some time ago, I was diagnosed as being permanently incapacitated. I had a choice to make: exercise or die. I decided to exercise. The result? I've completed 10 marathons, played football, and waved lazy thoughts goodbye. Every single time I run or jog or walk, it's a victory for me. I think if I had accepted the doctor's diagnosis that I was permanently incapacitated, I would not be able to enjoy the freedom, the pleasure, the healthy benefits that exercise provides. The first day I went for a run, I came home in a sweat. My body thought, "What are you doing? What's going on here?" My mind, though, reacted in a positive way. A problem I'd been worrying about for days was easily solved. I felt good. I quickly understood the positive impact exercise has on the body and mind. When I run, I see the beautiful beaches, the blue sky, gardens, and other people, some walking their dogs, some cycling. I hear the sound of the birds, and I smell the aroma of freshly made coffee, about to be consumed by those who prefer to sit down than to exercise. My advice to new runners is to listen to your body. You don't need expensive gadgets to tell you what your heart rate is, or how many steps you've taken, or how far you've gone. Just relax and enjoy the experience. While I love the freedom of training by myself, what I love even more is running, jogging, and yes, walking in marathons with other people. Finding someone to talk to is so beautiful, with spectators cheering us on. And somehow, in that last kilometre of a marathon, there's some force inside us which makes us able to sprint. Incredible. You should try it. If you don't want to run, then try swimming or cycling or tennis or golf or dancing or anything. The more energy you use, the better. It's also healthier for your body and mind to do outdoor exercise rather than indoor exercise. What's some exercise you haven't done for a while? What's some exercise you'd like to try but haven't got around to? Now, there's no excuse such as, oh, I'm too old, I'm too busy, I'm too tired, or I'm too ugly. Just exercise. Let's now take a look at verse 2. Last year I met a lady who was going for a daily walk. She was aged over 90, she said. We had a chat and agreed that it was better for her body and mind to walk than to feel self-pity in her bed. Speaking to that lady was so encouraging, so inspiring for me. I thought, yes, this is how it should be for all people aged over 90. We walked up a steep hill, chatting all the way. She was so bright and cheerful, and we agreed that walking really is the best form of exercise. By doing that, she is able to enjoy being outdoors, talking to strangers like me. She walks to the shop, meeting real people, instead of sitting at home having food delivered on her doormat. Her body, her health, is in better shape than people half her age. No, I better take that back. I'd say that by doing her daily walking exercise, keeping her mind active, and having such a positive, optimistic outlook on life, she is healthier than the vast majority of people of any age. This lady, Ashley is her name, is able to live by herself. The family members who are still alive still stay in touch with her. She doesn't want or need to be in an aged care facility. Ashley and I agreed that such facilities are like jails in a way, where the residents or prisoners, the same thing anyway, don't have any rights. It's disgraceful, Ashley said. As we were walking, Ashley told me that so many people, once they stop working, stop exercising their bodies and minds. And the result? Their bodies and minds go to pieces. I stepped in and said, "You're right. Why can't people realise when you stop, you're actually going backwards?" "Because they're so bloody stupid," Ashley said. Ashley and I had a good long walk. We agreed on so much, including that those who always find something to whinge about and have such a negative, pessimistic outlook on life are making an absolute mockery of the opportunity, the privilege to enjoy life while we're here on earth. As the walk came to an end, I asked Ashley what she'd do in the afternoon. No, she didn't say, "I'll have a nap and rest my old legs. I'm not getting any younger." No, she didn't say that. She said she's going to continue writing her book about her life experiences, about lessons she'd learned. "I can't wait to read it," I said. Ashley, I hope you're watching this video. I miss you. Let's catch up one day and go for another long walk, okay? Verse 3 now. Dancing is one of the best forms of exercise you can do. It can be so much fun and deep smiles can ensue. Feeling stressed? Dance your troubles away. You might be surprised just how much energy you use that way. Now, there are some types of dance which can take a while to learn, to synchronize your head, arm and leg movements with those of others, can be challenging, to put it mildly. 1 step forward, 2 steps back sounds easy, but if you get it wrong, you end up with your feet get trodden on all the time. There are some styles in which you have the freedom to let your imagination loose. Release your inhibitions and just let your arms and legs do what they want to do. There's no one to say, no, don't do it that way, do it this way, with your left arm at an angle of 45 degrees. If someone says that to you, politely or impolitely, just tell them to go away. The more stressed you are, the more beneficial dancing is. The problems of the world, even your own problems, can disappear when you dance. Focus on your moves, on enjoying yourself, nothing else. Smile. When you dance, the real you is exposed, the type of you we all like to see. Let's face it, there are a lot of very boring ways to deal with stress, such as squeezing a rubber ball or doing deep breathing exercises. But the most effective way, the most fun way to deal with stress, by far, is to dance. Yes! Next time you go to a concert, don't just sit down. Get up and dance. Okay, I've used a lot of self-disclosure in these videos. So I'll tell you something now which will either put a smile on your face or make you squirm. Probably the latter. The truth is, I've actually done some striptease routines and pole dancing. I've loved doing it, but I don't think the people who've seen me have been very impressed. No, it was just coincidence, I'm sure, that so many people leave before I actually finish those routines. Let's revisit verse 4. Challenge yourself to do rigorous forms of exercise. The result? You may end up healthy, wealthy and wise. Unless you challenge yourself, you may as well be dead. One day I thought I'd take up a leisurely sport, such as golf. Then thought, no, I'll play Australian rules football instead. In my teenage years, I used to love watching my team play. They ran so fast. They were so tough. I loved watching the fights. Then one day, about 5 or 6 years ago, someone asked me if I'd like to play. I rang up the coach and he said, training's on tonight, come along. I said, but I've never played before. He replied, doesn't matter, you'll be right. Well, from the first training session onwards, my life took on a positive turn. I was shy and lacking in confidence, but my teammates, now my friends, looked after me. They congratulated me when I did something good, and they supported me when I kept on making mistake after mistake after mistake. When it came to playing my first ever game, I ran onto the ground. Yes! I wasn't an observer anymore. I was a player. Wearing the club jersey changed my personality for the better. Suddenly the ball came in my direction. I leapt for it. I took the mark. I walked back, steadied myself, and kicked a goal. I was stunned. I was still stunned until my teammates gathered round me and squirted water on my face. That really was a reality check. The next year, though, I was going through hell, and I do mean hell. At one point I even thought of, I told my coach. A few days later I went to training. The coach made a speech, a beautiful speech. The coach, my teammates, put their arms around me. I told them, I'm so proud to be a member of this club. I'm so proud to have you as my friends. I cried. They cried. They are my true family. That was one of the highlights of my life. Over time, my confidence and my skills have improved a lot. So if any talent scouts are watching of a top Melbourne club or Sydney club, yes, I'm available. And bear in mind, I do know how to kick straight, so don't miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Exercising by yourself has its rewards, it's true. But being a member of a sporting team is extra special. It truly is sensational. Supporting teammates, putting your arms around each other, singing the club song after a victory is truly sensational. Don't just think of joining a team. Do it. Do it. Do it, as one great coach said. Now let's have a look at verse 5. Social media is killing our children every single day. It destroys their bodies and minds in a sickening way. Children don't exercise their bodies and minds. Why should they? They let social media do all their work, while their bodies and minds decay. For the first time in history, the current generation of children will have a shorter lifespan than previous generations. Why? It's because of computers and social media poison. That's why. The eyes, shoulders, necks, arms, legs, and of course the brains of children will continue to deteriorate. In 2023 in Australia, 1 in 12 people aged over 65 have dementia. Now, when a current generation of children reach 65, it's likely that 10 in 12 of them will have dementia because of social media. Sad, but true. Healthy exercise is about playing sports, dancing, things like that, not staring at a computer screen or a mobile phone. I've got a question for you. It's a question that needed to be asked some time ago. Answer it honestly and reflect and act upon it later. The question is this: are you a responsible parent? If so, prove it by not letting your children use social media, the deadly curse. If you're not responsible, try and stay strong as you watch your children's minds and bodies decay till they end up in a hearse. Previous generations were brought up learning to write with pens on paper, to read real books, and to have face-to-face conversations with real people, and to work out problems using their brains. Now, though, not only children, but some adults as well, think that's all too much of an effort. The result? Laziness triumphs. All the children and adults have to do is to press a few buttons. The words that appear are hard to understand and are often swear words, even threatening words. I've heard of school children as young as 6 boast about sending naked images of themselves to other students. and adults. Not only that, but rather than exercise their brains to solve problems, they rely on computers and social media to do all the work. Are you proud of that? Do you want to live a long, happy and healthy life? Do you want the same for your children? If so, the only way that will happen is for you and your children to get off computers and social media and instead have healthy exercise with real people. Before I talk about the final verse, there are a couple more parts about exercise I'd like to comment on. The first is that, as I said in my food reality video, it's important to eat healthy foods and to drink healthy fluids, such as water, including after doing physical exercise. That makes common sense, doesn't it? After all, if you were to put in a lot of effort playing a sport or dancing, all that effort would be wasted if you were to then indulge in fast food or alcohol. The next point is that if you are sitting down a lot at work, make sure you get up every hour or so and go for a brief walk, even if it's just to get a glass of water or to go to the bathroom. If you're on your feet a lot at work, make sure you sit down every hour or so, again drinking water. Otherwise your back muscles can suffer. My cinematographer asked me a really good question before. What she wanted to know is, when is the best time to exercise? The answer is, when you exercise your right, your ability, your strength to say no to anything you don't want to do and anything you feel pressured to do. As I said in my domestic violence awareness video, your body, your feelings, your opinions deserve respect. Anyone who tries to pressure you or force you to do anything you don't want to do, especially in a relationship, is the lowest form of life and doesn't deserve to be in your presence. Let's revisit the final verse. Exercising our imagination is so much fun. It takes us through periods of rain toward the sun. Our imagination gives us hope for a better life. Acting on our imagination would lead to internal and external peace, not strife. Those who stick to routine and deal only in facts are boring people, and I feel very sorry for those who come into contact with them. But those of you who exercise your imagination are the happiest people, and you make life so much happier, healthier, and more fulfilling for others. If it wasn't for imagination, nothing would have been built, nothing would have been done, and nothing would have been achieved throughout history. When you are sad, imagine you are happy. When you don't like where you live, imagine you are living somewhere else. When you are lonely, imagine you are with someone else. When you are feeling unloved, imagine you are loved. When you are feeling hopeless, imagine you do have hope. Those who kill themselves don't imagine there is hope for a better life. Many who stay in an abusive relationship don't believe their life can improve, so they stay in such a relationship. When you feel you are a powerless victim, imagine that you do have power and you are a winner. When you feel pessimistic about the world's future, about your future, imagine that the future is in your hands. What would you say? What would you do? Write your answers down. Share your views. I'd love to hear them. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Imagine. Exercise your imagination. Act on your imagination. I'm with you always. Together with our imaginations, we can do anything. We can. So, how well have you been listening? I've got a little quiz for you. Question 1. The name of the 90-year-old lady who I met last year was A. Charlie, B. Ashley, or C. Emily? The answer is Ashley. Question 2. The most effective way to conquer stress is A. Deep breathing, B. Squeezing a rubber ball, or C. Dancing? The answer is dancing, of course. Question 3. What is the main benefit of playing team sport? A. Making friendships, B. Good for your body, C. Good for your mind? The answer is all of the above. Question 4. If you allow your children to be poisoned by social media and computers, are you A. a responsible parent, or B. an irresponsible parent? The answer is an irresponsible parent. Question 5. Those who stick to routine and deal only in facts are A. boring people, B. best avoided at all costs? The answer is both. Question 6. What's your choice? Exercise or die? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've got any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. We could even go exercising together, whether it's walking or dancing. For further details on knowing how to contact me, see the bio below. Thanks again.